And before you know it, he very good again. He made people laugh, and that's the way he was. Always happy and always making people laugh. And he always did that. He never changed.
At what age did you meet Louie, your husband?
Well, I knew him when I was just a young girl. I didn't meet him. I used to see this young boy put gas in their car because I had to go have my bananas. See, I always worked hard, and I needed that banana to give me a boost. So all I can remember is that he'd be putting, it had a blue car, a nice car, and so he's putting gas down there in his car, and then I would get my banana, come back, and I'm eating, and then I get my, because I'm working, I'm helping Mom do the floor, I'm helping Mom do this, and then when my mom was with us and all, I took care of her, our little sister. But Louis was in school with me now, and he was going to graduate, but because, and he was quiet and way over, and I said, oh, somebody knew. Before you know it, he's my neighbor. He's working for the guys down the corner there, the end of the, there were 7 houses, and then this was the, where Louis worked as a welder and stuff like that. He learned.
Blacksmith, right?
Blacksmith, yeah. And so he learned as much as he could, and then he got paid. So he said, I'm getting paid so that I can save a little money so that when I blah blah. So he was so happy that he had that job. But he learned how to do his welding and all. Before you know it, he's home. Before you know it, he gets a job. He's doing the welding and made bum rich. Because
well, why don't we? He's working at the blacksmith, right?
yeah.
And then you start dating or something like that. You started dating. Then he went off to war.
Yeah,
I guess.
before he went to war, we were out playing. We were playing kick the can and so forth and so on, and those kids like us were little town kids. We did little things like kick the can, run here, jump rope, double, and so forth, and so then he said, I'm going to go to war, and so he kissed me goodbye. I don't know when I'll be coming back, but anyway, he said, the best thing that I ever did is to have seen more of the world. That I saw this, I saw that, and so forth. And so then he he went to different places, Mississippi, all that, and then he saw something that we don't see here. He was with a white guy, and then some black people were close to them, and they had to move out so they could pass us the way they did there. They treated the blacks bad, and that he thought that was wrong. This is so mean.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, the first thing that Louis saw was the little red shoes, and he told me, I wish that I would have had you been here, because he liked things that were of interest.
That was Judy Garland's shoes.
Judy Garland, of course. Yes.
And he got to see the Rockettes.
Oh, yes, yes. They danced with them, I think. Well, they saw the boys there, and so the girls are, I think, they saw them dancing. I think they danced with them. So that was kind of something.
So he went to Mississippi, then to New York, then where? Where else did he go?
Well, the place that that he that was haunted. What's that place?
He went to San Diego, and he went to Honolulu,
Okay, San Diego.
Hawaii.
Okay, but San Diego. Okay, now he was tired. He said, "I'm going to get a room all to the top." Then all of a sudden he could hear moaning. Oh my God! So he finally came down. He says, "You know, that place is haunted over there." Yeah, we know that.
The Horton Hotel.
Ah,
The Horton Hotel
I
is a
have-
known haunted
And then,
hotel.
of course, you kids went there. That Liz said they got a hold of her.
Yes.
Okay.
And he went to Hawaii too.
Yes, he went to Hawaii, but didn't stay long.
Bef- After it was bombed, or before it was bombed.
Well, I remember seeing the ship there. It had to be after we went. Before he went there,
Yes, he went there during the war.
but he didn't stay long. But he could tell us things about what it looked like. The water was blue, different kind of a blue. Well, it was interesting to see it, you know. And you were little. What I really thought was really dangerous is when we're going up a hill. We're going to see the what do you call them?
The volcano?
The volcano. And you know what happened? We could have gotten taken like what we saw, black tar. It would have been black tar.
My dad never had any interest in seeing Hawaii again. He said, I saw it in World War II. I don't need to see it ever again.
during the war, did he go to Europe or did he go in
No,
the
he
Pacific?
went on the Pacific. He went to the Pacific all through. His ship was the one that had all the ammunition. So he stopped at one place. Can't remember the name of it, but then he kept on going, and then to the end, there's a place. Everybody knows about it, but you go in and then it's hard to go in it and come out. I forget what you call that.
Probably the Panama Canal.
Could be. I know that the ship went real tight to go through, and Liz knew the name of that. But he was there, da-da-da, and finally he says, now they're coming home. But he said this, I'm coming home, and everybody's happy. There's a lot of those little fish that they're jumping up in, what they're called, they're happy. And so then he meets this man, tall, asks me, I want to be going to Washington again. And I want your opinion. I'm running for where he is, whether he was in, I forget his name, that got to be a president, but not quite. Well, anyway, he asked Louie's opinion about what do you think I should do about in Washington. So Louie said something, and that was about it. But I think that was the one, like Louie said, was the one that had to do with when Kennedy died. He was the tall guy that he had talked with, that he was going to Washington to see what he could do. And he thought that was great.
When Louis came home from the war, what was there a big celebration in Milpitas or anything after the war? When the war ended?
No. A lot of boys that we knew, like Uncle Jake's, there was 7 boys that went in. About first, Sibby was one, and then Tony Guerrero, that was Uncle Jake's brother. There's 7 boys that went in. Their names are there behind City Hall
Because they died.
because they died. Yeah, They're the one that gave their lives for us.
They were brothers or related to each
They're
other?
brothers. Uncle Jake's brother. There's, what's his name?
Tony.
Of Dad, I knew because I could see the kid putting, and I said, then
When Louie came home from the war, what was there a big celebration in Milpitas or anything after the war? When the war ended?
no. A lot of boys that we knew, like Uncle Jake's, there were 7 boys that went in. About first, Sibby was one, and then Tony Guerrero, that was Uncle Jake's brother. There's 7 boys that went in. Their names are there behind City Hall
Because they died.
because they died. Yeah, there's the one that gave their lives for us.
They were brothers or related to each
They're
other?
brothers. Uncle Jake's brother. There's, what's his name?
Tony.
What kinds of celebrations did you have when Louie came back from the war?
Well, see, Louis' family didn't have parties like we did. But the thing is, when he came home, he was my boyfriend, and we went out with my Aunt Jo and Uncle Jake. We'd go to San Francisco because Uncle Jake had the little, the little fish, and he had the whole thing there as you come in to her house. There's a place there for it. So one thing we had to go was to get food for the fish. That was just it.
Aquarium.
And then, well, we go out to different restaurants in San Francisco. We just we worked, but we had I went to school, got a job. Before you know it, then we're going to get married. Before you know it, I want to have 1 kid. And lived happily ever after. And I had a good life. He was a good man, helped everybody. Always had to go help this one and that one. Louie, do your backyard. Well, I'll be back. The guy needs my wheelbarrow. He's going to do cement, but the guy didn't clean it, so it got stuck. And see what you have. Now this gal, Louie we went to get some fish. Louise and I went with him at 4. We came home by midnight, and he has those big, whatever you call them, big fish. He got 2 or 1 or whatever. He cleaned them and all. We didn't have the room for all that, but we gave them to her, and she says, "Oh, Louie, what's your shoes? My floor." I said, "Louie, don't you ever give her any more. The floor. Be grateful that you got this big fish." But he was that way. He had to help this one. As we're traveling, okay, now, well, something's wrong with that guy. Let's stop. Before I know it, he always had his little red bag. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I already helped him. He's fine. Every time we go up the hill to go to Reno, the stop. The big trucks are there, blah, 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 but there's always a car over here, like this. So he said, "Well, what's happening? Are you having problems?" "Well, yeah, I don't know. Somehow or other this doesn't work." "Well, just a minute. I'll bring my little bag." He had a little red bag. "Well, it's ready. You just have to have a little cold water here and just let it set." "Thank you, sir." "It's okay." Always he helped people. always. And he didn't expect anybody to help him, you know, he never did.
What job did he do?
Well, he made his thing, he learned how to weld when he was young there on the street by the boys. And I used to see him before he went to war, he got that little job that he liked. Now let's see, the train used to pass through. So then I saw him and the other boy getting the slabs of steel like this. And then they had the truck and they would take them back in there. Then they had to cut them or whatever. That's what he knew what he'd do, whatever he did. They gave him a letter of commendation, you wouldn't know. A beautiful letter that said what a wonderful young man he is, and we have that. And then we go to church all the time, and next to us is a bum. Now, he's always asking Louie, like, what do you think, blah, 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 because Louie always had the ideas. The other guy knew what to do somehow. So he asked Louie, I'm going to have what do you call it?
Flea market.
I'm going to have a flea market, and I'd like to know, would you like to help me? Would you like to be a partner? Louie says, no, I won't be a partner, but I'll help you get a job. So that's what happened. We got him started. We got this started for him. Everything that made money, Louie did for him. And Louie never said, I did it. Good. I was there when he put a frame. It's going to be where cars come in. The frame is open, just a perfect measurement. I'm walking with him and he says, how do you know it's going to fit? It will. Let me see your notes. You had 3 or 4 numbers. The guy's got it, went right in. He didn't have any schooling, let's say, like my brother did. They had a boys' school, they painter, this and that, and made homes and all. Louie did this. He painted, he built. It was just one of those people that he helped. He did everything and helped everybody.